It's been what, 3 months since Hoyo released Zenless Zone Zero, and already they are preparing for it. They're planning the release of their next big game, Astaweave Haven. Astaweave Haven, of course, could actually go on to be the biggest gacha release for them since Genshin Impact. Bigger than Honkai Star Rail, bigger than Zenless Zone Zero. Why? Because it is going to target an audience that they do not presently have access to. Honkai Star Rail was largely played by Genshin Impact players and Honkai Impact players. Zenless Zone Zero was played by Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact, and Honkai Star Rail players that were interested in something more up-to-date, something more polished, a fun action game. They all, however, share roughly the same pool of players. Astaweave Haven, however, is a completely different kind of game. This is a game that is very similar, very reminiscent of Animal Crossing, sharing similarities to not only Animal Crossing, but also taking inspiration from other games like Stardew Valley, like Harvest Moon. This is an audience that Hoyo has no access to yet. And as I'm sure you guys are more than aware, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, all those life sim games have millions of players. With this game, they could achieve success unlike anything they've seen before. And according to a thread over on Reddit, the game may be announced in an official form very soon, likely with an expected release date of 2025. We're gonna jump into that in a minute. Additionally, the new NIKKE game from Shift Up, the people that made NIKKE, that made Stellar Blade, that made Destiny Child, has officially applied for the trademark Goddess of Victory New Hope. This is a brand new NIKKE gacha game, or I'm assuming is a gacha game. Maybe it's their new open world gacha. Maybe it's a new gacha game that is a spin-off of the current NIKKE game. We'll take a look at that after we take a look at Astaweave Haven. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. Astaweave Haven has been registered in China by miHoYo, may possibly be announced soon. 2 images were attached to the Reddit thread. miHoYo has created the WeChat account for their latest unannounced game on September the 14th. They previously made a Bilibili account a couple months back, so this may imply that the announcement of the game is approaching. I've heard rumors that it may be as soon as before the end of the month. The game apparently got a license from the Chinese NPPA regulatory body in July. I think this is actually when they confirmed the official icon for the game. If we assume that this game would therefore have to release before July 2025, and considering the average gaps of 18 months and 26 months between reveals and release of Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero respectively, they ought to announce it pretty soon. I completely agree. I feel like Hoyo have fallen into a routine where they're going to be pushing out a new game every 12 months or so. New games set in new genres. That way they can slowly eclipse and engulf the entirety of the genre's players. Let's see what the comments are saying. Another after releasing your new game is insane. Hoyo just keep cranking out games on every genre until they completely dominate the industry. Tune in next month for Hersher Kart Racer. That's actually genuinely true though. Will Shanha rerun before the game releases? Genshin Autumn, Honkai Star Rail Spring, Zenless Zone Zero Summer, Astaweave Winter, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I feel like I've reached my saturation point with gacha games. I still wish it the best of luck. Is this the management game? So I have not reached a point where I feel like the genre has become oversaturated yet. I feel like the genre is only just getting started, especially with games that are as high quality as both Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. Let's go ahead and take a look at Shift Up and the new NIKKE game though. Shift Up applied for the trademark Goddess of Victory New Hope. So this isn't Goddess of Victory NIKKE, this is Goddess of Victory New Hope. This actually doesn't have NIKKE in the title whatsoever. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. It does seem as though it is done by Shift Up. All previous trademarks registered by Shift Up in China are game titles. I guess this one is the same, but I didn't find Shift Up registering the trademark anywhere else outside of China. That does not bode well. I think the reason NIKKE has foregone a lot of the censorship issues that are rampant in Chinese gacha games. I think the reason why NIKKE is as good as a game as it is because Shift Up, they are a Korean developer. They are not beholden to the requests of China. They don't have to worry. If they allow China to attain control of and then develop the next NIKKE game, you could expect it to be handled very differently and probably be received very differently. There have been similar cases where non-Chinese game companies first registered new game trademarks in China rather than other regions, such as Final Fantasy XIV Crystal World, which is Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, which was previously approved for release in China and then produced by Tencent under the authorization of Square Enix. So I guess Goddess of Victory New Hope may also be a NIKKE spin-off game produced by a Chinese game company, which I really hope is not the case. But at the same time, as long as this is not the open world NIKKE game, I don't care. I am more than happy to have a secondary NIKKE game to play, set within the NIKKE intellectual property, or if this is completely unrelated to NIKKE because it's going to be Goddess of Victory, then I'll take that too. But what I'm hoping is they've just filed for the trademark in China and that Shift Up, the Korean developer, is going to continue to develop it, completely separate from China. Is this new game of NIKKE's verse? Imagine NIKKE getting a Granblue Fantasy Reeling style spin-off, a NIKKE characters with Stellar Blade gameplay and visuals. Holy crap. I hope it's new NIKKE content, but only time will tell. New Hope, this could be a prequel about Johan's campaign. Can't wait for Strikes the Star Wars killer. Worth noting, there's a character in NIKKE who had a nickname New Hope, so it could be a spin-off focusing on them and the past, maybe. NIKKE Chinese censor version. See, that was my first and immediate thought, and also concern, that if China handles it, it's gonna be censored. Maybe a NIKKE third-person shooter. Oh, that'd actually be really cool. I feel like, you know what? I would accept a Chinese third-person shooter NIKKE, like Snowbreak, but set in the NIKKE universe with NIKKE's character models and NIKKE's storytelling. Yeah, I'd be on board with that. So 2 big new games are coming. Astaweave Haven, which is developed by HoYo, and this new NIKKE game titled Goddess of Victory New Hope, hopefully done by Shift Up, the people behind NIKKE. I'm excited for both. I don't know if Astaweave Haven will be my kind of game, but I'm definitely gonna try it out. There's so many big games on the horizon. I can't wait to see how they all do. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.